Welcome to the Mama's Village podcast, CT, where Fairfield County moms discover they're not alone in their struggles while uncovering the hidden gems, local treasures, and real solutions that make motherhood in Connecticut not just survivable, but extraordinary. I am very excited. I am getting over a cold, obviously. Excuse my voice. But I am very excited for today's guest because she is the mom behind Fairfield Moms, the Local Moms Network franchise. She has become a main resource to all Fairfield moms, and she promotes and features moms and businesses and does everything she can to keep the community in the know. She also has a popular newsletter that promotes businesses, runs deals, and gives tips and tricks to Fairfield moms. Please meet Jess McCormack.
Hi, thank you for
Hi.
having me. I'm so
So
excited.
I'm really excited to meet you because everything that you're doing is exactly what I want to be doing with this podcast. So you're like already doing it, and like I'm very excited to collab, and I'm excited to just like it's very fun because it seems like we have the same mission, and we're really that kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Tell
I
me a
love the
little,
idea of the podcast, so all about it.
tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me something that would surprise someone to know about you. What would be something surprising?
Okay, do you want to hear like the backstory of Fairfield Moms or
Yeah, sure.
okay. So I am actually from Long Island. That's not my surprising thing. If you called me, it's still 631. I am from Kings Park, New York, and grew up there up until I went to college at Southern Connecticut State University. Go Owls. There's probably four of us here in Fairfield that went to Southern, and I just pretty much stayed in Connecticut since then. I went to school for communications and marketing. I wanted to do event planning. I love sales and that kind of stuff. So pretty much stayed around here and have done that all over in different ways until I got into the Local Moms Network. A few years ago, probably seven this summer, a friend and I reached out saying, we think Fairfield needs this. I knew about Westport Moms. And I really had no idea about anything of it. I just was like, let's write a letter to the Local Moms Network in Greenwich. These two ladies started it in Greenwich probably 10 years ago and just wanted to give moms the gift of time where they did all the research, they found out everything going on, and they told everybody. So we thought Fairfield needed this. We went to them and they were like, no, it's okay. Like we have Westport. And we're like, oh man, Westport is so different than Fairfield. Everybody knows it, but whatever. They came back like 2 months later and they were like, all right, we need you guys. So excited. I pretty much told my friend, I think we just go to events with our kids and like take pictures. At the time, my daughter was 1.5 and her daughter was 1.5. And that's how we became friends through a mom's group. And we didn't know it could be a job and it pretty much could be like a full-time job. And that's what I'm making it now. And it's amazing. It's really like we had to put the back end of the website together. So we had to go through all the resources. So if you go to our website, fairfieldctmoms.com, you could find every doctor, dentist, restaurant, food truck, daycare listed. It's kind of ongoing. So sometimes I'll notice something that's not in business anymore and we'll take it out of there. And then last 2 years ago, my partner moved to Charleston and she started Charleston Moms and we're still friends and our daughters are still besties. They've known each other since they were like 2 weeks old, they say, and we went to visit them this summer, I just decided I'm going to do this on my own and just continue to keep growing it and still do the same events, try to do more. And I did own a business up until February with another partner, AR Workshop. It was a DIY paint and sip bar in Fairfield, lasted 6 years. And pretty much I'd rather be doing Fairfield Moms. So now I'm here doing this full time and I love it. And I have an 8-year-old, almost 8.5-year-old daughter in third grade at Sherman and a almost 5-year-old son at a child's garden for pre-K fives. He's not ready for kindergarten yet. So they keep me
Wow.
busy and
Yeah,
it's like a full-time job, but I'm also like stay at home. My kids are like, what do you do? I'm like, everything we do on the weekends, it's like my job. Like we go to events so I can take pictures of them and see what's going on and let people know about them. But also like this, I'm working from home. So,
yeah, that's really cool. Very, very fun.
and
Um,
something you would be surprised to know about me. I really like haven't put this out there on Fairfield Moms, unless people are like nosy, because I do this with my friend from high school. We're always like, oh, those people, we could tell something's going on. Recently divorced. So um, since March, have been finalized, I guess, divorced. I don't want to say single mom because he's still in the picture and he still sees them, but yeah, didn't want to do it for years because the stigma of it, not many in Fairfield, but as I'm learning there's a lot more going on and I like love helping people now. I started a kind of support group once a month, bringing people together with people I've met, like a divorce coach, lawyer, my therapist has talked, a co-parenting coordinator has come in. So every month trying to bring more people in and just build awareness to it that you're not alone and this is out there and it's going on, even a place like Fairfield where there's everybody's a family.
Yeah. So, that's a big transition in your life
Mm-hmm.
and probably sad. So I'm sorry. I know that
Nope, I don't say like I don't like when people say sorry or
okay.
I rather say congratulations. I think it was more like a long time coming and
Okay.
I had to do what was right for me and the kids and I am so much like happier and better off and I know it and he is too. So
That's good.
congratulations. Yeah.
That's
So
really
if ever you ever
congratulations
meet
then.
somebody say meeting wanting to get divorced or get divorced, tell them congratulations.
All
Nobody.
right. Congratulations. Amazing. Well, that's good to know. So anybody, either way, it is a big transition. That's a change in your life. Is there something that has been the most challenging? I mean, like taking out of it any sort of emotional, I'm sure there's, some of that, but anything that is surprisingly challenging in that life transition for you?
I think for the kids, it was, I'm like trying to figure out like, is it the divorce? Is it just me? Or, is it them? Like my third grader seems like she is going to get her period soon. I don't know. She's just so emotional. And I'm like,
Right?
oh my God, is it the divorce? I just always go back to the divorce. I got them a therapist who's been great. My son had a little bit of like anger and he'll be like, you took all the socks from daddy and I have no socks there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'll say to my ex, like, what are you saying about me? Thinking I'm like, he's saying the worst. And he's like, all I did was say mom has all the socks. But my son hears it as like, mommy's the bad person and she took all the socks and I want to live with dad. So that's like the transition that's been the hardest. Doing everything, I feel like that's comes easy to me. And I was doing a lot of it anyway. So I don't think the tradition there was hard. Like bedtimes and morning routines, and it's all been similar. It's
Anything?
the change, the weirdly changed thing that somebody told me right before I like decided on this was that you get like every other weekend or however you plan it. Some people do week on, week off. We do every other weekend. And so that every other weekend is kind of like nice. Like I catch up on things. I can go for a run and not get a babysitter. Or feel bad about not being with my kids. I do feel like I'm missing a few little things, but if there's something going on or a family party, like I'm still taking them to it and we talk about it and change things up. But so it's kind of a little weird and a little nice, but
Is there any kind of tips that you might have for somebody going through a transition, either like that or anything?
I would say find a therapist. Like I had one throughout and she kind of like led me the right way, not on purpose. I didn't ask for it. It was just like in conversation. And I think that's really like helps me, take deep breaths or don't get so like when you're running out of patience, don't just like flip out, like kind of walk away and think about it, take a few minutes. And I've kind of like taught my kids to try to do that too, like not freak out right away. So I think finding a therapist for me, for the kids, for if you're in a relationship and this is an option, or maybe trying to go to counseling before this isn't the last step, but I think it's helped.
Well, that's awesome. I think that when we talk about these sort of transitions, whether it's divorce, whether it's even losing your job, moving, anything like that, one of the things that can feel scary is the unknown and not understanding what's going to happen next. What is it actually going to be better for me? Is it not going to be better? Like
Mhm.
do you have anything? Do you have any sort of advice or tips about just like believing or like that, sort of quieting those?
Yeah, I think it took me a long time to realize all that stuff on my own. Like I wasn't talking that like, other than my friends that knew we had issues, they didn't even push me towards it. They like knew, they said like we knew you were going to do it in your own time. I think I went to a retreat like right before I decided like finalized I'm going to do this. And I just did like breath work and some Reiki and some stuff I didn't even know I would be interested in. And it all kind of like guided me towards the journey I was about to go on. Because for so long I was like the stigma of being divorced, or everybody around here is married, or I don't want to be a single mom and the thoughts of that, or I don't want my kids to be from, have two houses. And now they've gotten so used to it. And one of the transitions was for my son, he was telling everybody, like, I got two houses. My dad has a pool. I got a rooftop. And then my daughter was like, stop telling everybody. So it took her a while to be like, oh, I got two houses. Can you drop me off at dad's? And now it's more the norm and everybody knows. So it took her, I think, being older to be
Mhm.
okay with it. And
Right.
I would try to like set her up on play dates. I was like, this girl has two houses, like, thinking it's not uncommon
No.
anymore.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, that's
now it's
awesome.
out there.
Yes, and thank you for being so open about it. It's helpful. Okay, so one of the things about the Mama's Village podcast CT is that I love to talk about hidden gems and things that are happening in Fairfield County, and you are the mom to talk to about that. So, what is like your favorite hidden gem right now in Fairfield County that you want to tell everybody about?
It's like a hidden gem I don't like people to know about because then it gets so busy. And it's not because of me, it's just people are finding out. I love the Irish Club. I don't know, the GAC, Gaelic American Club. It's on Beach Road. It's kind of hidden. It took us 3 years to get in. You had to show your Irish heritage. My last name is McCormack, well, from marriage, but I grew up Irish too. But that doesn't matter. Like, you have to find out where your real ancestors are from. But it did take us 3 years to get in. And it's just like easy. It's easy to bring kids. There's a huge yard where they run around. The drinks are cheap. The food has gotten a lot better. They do some kind of events. And it's really just like my family comes and they want to go there. And they have like rooms you can rent out. So we have my daughter's baptism there. And it is nice. Sometimes you see so many people that and so, like, we went Friday night early. We only saw a few people, and it was like nice like that. But we can kind of walk, and we haven't been there all summer because it's more of like the summer we go to the beach and that kind of
Love
stuff.
that.
Yeah, so in the winter it does get packed, but get on the wait list can
How
take some time.
fun. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay, this is probably not really hidden. It's not hidden at all, but it's something that maybe you wouldn't think about for your little kids. But I did it early with mine, and it's the rock climb Fairfield.
Oh,
Rock.
I have been wanting to go there. I don't think I'd be able to get myself up there, but it does
Well,
look.
what is cool about the little kids is like your kids are already climbing. So I took my kids when they were little. Probably I think the first time they climbed was around 7 or 8. I think that's about as little as you can take them. And my daughters didn't love it. My son absolutely loved it, fell in love. So by the time he has actually made Rock Climb Fairfield his like home away from home, and he works there now, and he was on the climbing team and like all of this. And I have to give them a shout out just because they have been such a big part of our life and have really helped him develop a lot of his like problem solving skills. I think that's what I love about it is that climbing is very much of a problem solving situation. You've got a route, you've got to get up to the top, and there are things in your way, and you have to figure out how you're going to get through. And it's frustrating and it's hard, and it really makes you want to quit, and you don't. And
Mhm.
then finally, and sometimes a problem will take you like weeks to figure out how to get to the top. And I just love this concept just for kids because it's like you don't always give them this opportunity to solve these problems, and it's a physical one. So,
Mhm.
but they can take that sort of push through and determination and use it in life and use it for tests and use it for
Oh, that's
school. And
awesome.
I love that concept. So
Yeah. How old is he now?
he's almost 17. He'll be 17 in
Okay.
October. So he's been
Yeah.
doing it since, yeah, he was about 7 or 8 years old. So,
Okay.
um,
Take my 8-year-old. I'm always scared. Like, I feel like I'm strong enough, but at the same time, when I see them doing it, I'm like, I am not strong enough.
yeah, I mean, I agree. And also it takes a certain amount of like upper body strength that you feel like you really need to have. And
Mhm.
women tend to think that they don't have it enough. We do have leg strength though. And so it just takes a little bit different thought process of how we get through it. But yes, I it's difficult for women. And also if you have a fear of heights, that can
Yeah.
deter you some too. But the thing about those is like it's just another aspect of fear. And that's just like in life.
Mhm.
You have so many things to be afraid of, and there's so many things that are holding you back, and there are so many, I don't know, it's just, I love it. So it's something that I used to climb when I was a long time ago back in college. And so it's definitely something that I want to continue, that I'd like to do again, but something I definitely recommend for kids.
Good.
Uh,
Totally told me.
Anything that you are currently listening to or watching or reading or anything that you want to share?
It's my goal to read now that school's back in session. So I started reading a book called Lovable that the person that did that retreat that I went to knew what I was going through and sent me. And I'm only in the beginning of it, and I'll totally post a picture of it one day and tag the author because she went through a lot of similarities. So it's kind of like hits home. It's watching. I'm all about Bravo and Housewives, and then most of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm listening to an audiobook. It's called Signs. Who is the author? Man, it's like escaping me. Hold on, let me look it up. Um, and it is about grief, but it's also about being able to speak to the universe and the people that have crossed over and all of that stuff. So it gets a
Wow.
little woo-woo, but I'm totally into it.
Yeah.
And I'll hold on, let me see who the author is. Oh, Laura Lynn Jackson, that's right. This is Signs, the Secret Language of the Universe by Laura Lynn Jackson. If you're at all interested in just like diving in because you believe just a little bit in signs from like my mom passed away in 2023. I always think I'm talking to her.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know. So I love just like anything that is just sort of tapping me on the shoulder and being like, don't worry, you are talking to her. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that.
I love it. So
Yeah.
it's one of those books where it's like it gives you a little bit of like a feeling of comfort and also teaches you how to actually talk to your loved ones without, you don't need a medium, you don't need it, but it sort of explains, energy and explains like all of this stuff. And I know it sounds woo and sounds whatever, but I kind of love it and
Oh,
I
that's
don't
cool.
care. I'm just, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, so let's get into Fairfield Moms and let's get into the nitty-gritty about what you actually do. A lot of it is event planning, is that correct?
Yeah, I do a good amount of events
And what
and
does that entail? Like,
so pretty much planning them. A lot of them have been over like the years. We just like every June there's a family fun day. Every October there's a trunk or treat. I just had a ladies bonfire last week, which was like the sixth year of doing it. And it was weird because like getting a bonfire slip is so hard, and I didn't get one in March, and I was like, forget it, whatever. If somebody sells one, I'll find it. And then somebody came up to me and knew I didn't get one and sold it to me. So I was like, it could go on. The show may go on.
well, actually, before you continue on, to anybody that's not actually in Fairfield, talk about the bonfire slips, talk about what you have to do to get them, talk about how much they are, all of that stuff, and why and what's so fun about them.
Okay. And also I under Fairfield Moms, I handle Trumbull, Easton, and Bridgeport. So you'll see things posted for all those places as well.
Oh, great.
But it's gonna stay the word Fairfield Moms. So yeah, through Park and Rec, every time I think everything that they promote is always stressful, but just because like everybody wants to do it. So everybody wants a bonfire, everybody wants to go to Park and Rec's camp in the summer. You want to sign up for soccer and then you're waitlisted. So there's what, 65,000 people in Fairfield, and we're all trying to get to the same thing. So sign up for the bonfire. It's usually around March, around St. Patty's Day. I think it's at 9 a.m. and everybody's on the computer at the same time. It's kind of difficult because you don't know the date you want or the field you want because it's either J2, J6 at Jennings or at Mohegan. And I'm always trying to go for Jennings because that's closer to me and that's where it's been. But you're paying $100. Pretty sure you have to be a resident, and then you check out and do that. But it's kind of hard because you can't figure out the date that you want. You can't always get July 4th because you just kind of have to pick and choose throughout. My one friend is so smart. Every year gets the Memorial Day Monday and the Labor Day Monday, celebrates one kid on Memorial Day, celebrates one kid on Labor Day, and somehow gets that every time. Like she's on one computer, her husband's on the other computer. they get them. I don't know. I think you just have to be on at 9 o'clock in the morning. Even the things for they do so many different summer camps, and then you have to be on. I think that's in like February where people start thinking about summer camp, and it kills me every time because I even do a summer camp guide and start working on it in January, and I can't even think about summer. Like I can't even think about Thanksgiving and Christmas now. I'm not good
Yeah.
like that. Like when they were talking about pumpkin spice lattes in August, I can't. Uh, so even I just did a back to school guide and everybody wanted back to school. And I like, it's so hard for me personally to be thinking about it when I just want to get through summer and not rush it and all that stuff. So yeah, the Park and Rec does a ton and I promote their stuff and they promote some of mine. They do their own events. So I try to promote different things. The library does things, the museum does things, the community theater does things, the town does things. So we all kind of
How many
promote each other.
events do you put on?
Now the only one I do per month is now that divorce support group. It's the first Wednesday of every month. It's at the Fit Club Jiu Jitsu. It's upstairs location. They let me borrow the space, and that's the one thing I do per month. And it's also a free event, so I'm not making any money or charging anybody to come to it. As single moms, I guess we're gonna have to watch our pennies. I do 2 food events per year. The Taste of Fairfield. So the next one's in October. I really need to start promoting that, and the other one's in spring. And then I did a big party for the 3rd year anniversary. Now I'm up to the 7th and I haven't had a party again, but I should. There's all these things I should do, you know, but I try to do a guide every other month or so. So I did a home guide, which is like painters, contractors, roofers, landscapers. The back to school guide was things you could do after school. So like art places that are running arts, or if there's rock climbing or GCA for gymnastics. Everybody's trying to just do something. So I try to do these guides. I'll be coming out with a list soon for apple and pumpkin picking because that's huge. And it's like everybody wants to do that in fall and find the places to go.
When planning an event, what do you think is the most important thing to think about?
I would say planning. I think giving yourself enough time to start planning. I'm very like last minute on. I think it's because I do it for this Fairfield moms and personally. So like I do a 4th of July party for myself. I do a block party for my neighborhood. So that stuff is like I got to work on that. But I also just helped with a mental health event last weekend. So it's kind of, and now I have contacts at different places. So it's a little easier now that I know if I'm doing a touch a truck event to call the police department, the fire department, Department of Public Works, the town for different things. And then I have different vendors that love coming to events just to be networking with people. And I just want to really get the most people I can at these events because as a mom with little kids and as they were younger and you just want to get to nap time and you just want to like, I do my event in the spring, no, in June for Family Fun Day from 9 to 12 because it's like tire these kids out and then get them in for a nap. Or do it early enough because there's sports. Like this weekend, we did an event for mental health and it was great and it's for such a great cause. But it was like the first weekend that all the sports were back in season. So it was like I had to leave early to bring my own kids to their sports. So it's hard to know the exact time of day that's like or the time, like the date to start for these events. Like the Taste of Fairfield's always on a Sunday, which people don't like because it, get to go to work on Monday, but Saturdays are so hard for restaurants. So you kind of have to like help everybody out. And you also want to make sure if you're doing like a town event or an event like in the community that there's nothing else going on. So we didn't want the mental health one to, there was a food event the week before, there's Oktoberfest for the town next week. So I kind of have to try to look at dates ahead of time. And a lot of those are planned in advance.
I see. Like in production for TV, when we have a shoot or something, one of the things we have to make sure of is that there are permits. I'm assuming you need to do the same thing. You have to get permits, you have to get permission, you have to get.
Well, I think it's different for every venue. So the 2 events I've done, the Family Fun Day and the Trunk or Treat has been at the plaza where my business used to be, AR Workshop, like it's where Bob's used to be. And the landlord was the one who owned the property. So therefore there was no permits to get. Then there was like the Taste of Fairfield where a huge tent was needed. So you have to get the tent, you have to get the town permit for that ahead of time. You have to get the health department on board because it's a food event. So every event is different and it's really like a learning curve. There's no booklet for the town of like, okay, if you're going to do an event on the town green, these are the rules, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm doing a block party for my neighborhood. It's like our third or fourth year. And it's something a lot of streets do. And it's so great because it brings us all together and everybody like, so we should do that 2 or 3 times a year. Like it's so much fun to all hang out just in the street. But the process of it isn't easy. You have to get everybody's signature on the street. So you have to like go door to door. This year I made my daughter do it. So every time I go, I'm like sitting talking to everybody for a little while. So I got her to go get the permit signed. Then you have to hand it into the police department, get it okayed. Then they say yes and tell the Department of Public Works. Then you go there and rent the barricades. And then the first year, I think we did potluck, but then we realized like, let's do a food truck. So you have to find the food truck, which now I have a food truck guy I love, BFF Grill. He comes to every event I do and he's great. And now I see him at other block parties, and then you have to get the ice cream truck because if you don't get Aileen's ice cream truck, then what are you doing? She's the only one around. But you have to like book these people in advance. And then some blocks have gotten bands. We haven't got a band. Like I make a playlist, and then for hours we'll buy crafts and try to get everybody to donate some money to pay for the barricades, the crafts.
Do you have anything that I know that I've seen you do like some special things for guests, like swag bags, things like that, gifts, do you have any decorations? I mean, do you have any tips or tricks or hacks for swag bags and decoration? How do you put those together? How do you make guests feel special?
Yeah, so I do the swag bags once a year for the bonfire. And it's first 50 ladies get them, and it's great because they all want to get them right away. I really reach out to every local business I know and personally, and I'll just ask if they want to add anything to it. I never want somebody to put in like free shirt from the loft. Like I just want you to put in like 10% off or like Corner Market put a gift card in for a free coffee. So it's getting 50 people that maybe have never been there into your store. Um, I mean, the fun part and the hard part is like going to all these businesses and picking them all up. So the week of, and then last week I had a babysitter one night. So I actually asked the babysitter and my daughter to fill the swag bags because that's time consuming. So I try to outsource a few things. But yeah, just trying to get like all these coupons to places that people might not have been into ahead of time. And I'm on a very last minute. So it was literally like 2 days before I'm going door to door and planning my day. Well, like for years I was like walking around town with a wagon, picking things up. So, but you just have to like, I think over time I've gotten to know people of like Nichols MD always gives a bag. So they gave 50 bags and they put little sunscreen and mints in them and a coupon. So they provided the bags for everybody.
So,
and if I needed like centerpieces on my own, I could ask, all the local florists that I know, or I could ask for like a donation here and there. I don't like to ask for a donation too often because when I did own a business, everybody in the world asked for a donation. They were like coming from different towns and you're like, you probably will never come here. But so I'll make my own flower arrangements from Trader Joe's because they're the cheapest flowers around and get little flower holders and put them out, get them from Michael's and
yeah, they're great.
Try to be,
Trader Joe's flowers are really, really pretty and great.
Yeah, they're the best price around.
And as far as like being a mom entrepreneur, and monetizing, I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're monetizing something that is a need for moms around. How do you do that? Like, how do you make enough is it from sponsorships? Is it from ticket sales? Is it from your newsletter? Like how is it contributing to your household? Like, and how hard was that to convert from just like I don't know if it would be hobby or, whatever, to something that actually was tangible and could help your life?
Yeah, I think it took a long time because it's been now 7 years where people will reach out saying like, how can I advertise with you? In the beginning, we were just trying to go after people and it took a long time. We didn't have a following. So now that there's like 27,000 followers on Instagram, I think people know. And we were the first, not, I don't want to say the first, but like, and I don't call myself an influencer at all. Like, but I think we were more the beginning of the people in Fairfield doing something like this, which now I feel like there's like Soccer Shots. They started when they came to Connecticut because they came from Pennsylvania. They started in Fairfield and they just wanted to advertise in Fairfield. And now they go to me to advertise throughout Fairfield County, which is like one of the stories I love the most because they give a code for, Local Moms Network or Fairfield Moms followers to get, I think it's 10 or 15% off. And it's actually a really good program. My kids have been through it and I've posted pictures. They'll do a first class for free, but they're one of those stories that like they saw it working. They gave a code. They probably, I'd love to find out from them, like how many people they've gotten using that code over the years. Cause they really just wanted to do Fairfield. And now, I see their signs in Stamford. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of them. So I think, it does work. And I think going after people I believe in, and I'm not posting things that I wouldn't really post a vape shop, right? Like I don't really believe in it. But if they wanted to approach me about something that they do there, they sell lotto tickets. I don't even know. I've never been to one. But like if I want to help them and I want to help any business, but I just want to do like things more I believe in. And it doesn't just have to be mom related because, the mom's bonfire wasn't a mom's bonfire. It's a ladies' bonfire. I don't want to like take away from the people that don't have kids because I lived in Connecticut and Fairfield for how long without having kids where I was a mom. So I didn't want to like not be able to go to things.
No.
Like I talked to Illicit about doing I saw it promoted somewhere else, but like a mom's dance party and they're all for it. But also like, it doesn't have to be just moms. I can bring my friends that don't have kids, but it's going to be like, moms just want to go out and dance to like the 2000s music. And
I
feel
think for me, like the reason why moms are so exciting to me is because there seems to be a point in time after you have your kids when people decide that you don't have anything to say anymore, or like all you should be talking about is kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, when did that happen? Like,
no, right? Yeah.
Wait, I have more to say than just like about my kids, and I have more. So to me, like it's a little bit like just giving them a little bit of like a support and like just us, not them, it's us, it's like, just and making sure that like, hey, we have a voice, and we have things to say and we're really like good at what we do and like don't overlook us because
totally. And like over time you learn like there's restaurants I want to go to just with girlfriends. Like there's restaurants I'll go to if we want to go with their kids. Like if I don't want to like talk about kids at all, I don't want to go, I want to go to like the Sinclair or Sophie's. But if I want to bring my kids, I know I can bring them there, but I just like I feel like there's certain places I'll take those kids, but
yeah, exactly. And
the Irish Club.
Okay. It's okay for us to not to like have other interests and have other, things besides our kids. And so, but that doesn't take away from, obviously inclusive of women that don't have children and all of that stuff. But there is just something about that time in our life when it feels like all people want to talk to us about is kids, and it feels a little bit like so that's all right. So if I were going to, and I would like to do this, if I were going to start hosting more events like at home and not break the bank and make it fun, and is there a certain like not I don't want to get overwhelmed with it, but I also want to make sure that guests are comfortable and feel special. Is there any sort of template that I could, or that you can give me any tips? What can I do?
Yeah. I would say like if I was doing an event I play once in a while bunko with my kids' elementary school, like the moms, and it's BYOB, and I think it might say bring an appetizer. So it's kind of like everybody's in charge of their own drinks. Like you shouldn't have to supply for everybody, especially in the beginning. Like I now like at that mom's divorce group, I get sushi donated from Nordic Fish and wine donated from this box wine company, Grazie. But I don't think I have to be supplying it for everybody because it's a free event. Like I'm not making any money. And now I'm one of these single moms that we're going to have no money. So it's kind of like, I think there's nothing wrong with saying, bring your own drink and bring your appetizer you love to my house and you're hosting. So it's kind of like enough. I think if you wanted to have a bigger party, I have a July 4th party for all my friends in obviously July 4th, the night that we always have the fireworks, and we walk down to the fireworks, some of us. And I've gotten like a waitress at times or my high school, college babysitter. So it's not too much money. Some people want a lot of money for this, but just to set up and clean up. And so you can kind of enjoy your party where I don't have to be the one putting out the food, taking it all in, like to come wake up in the morning and everything's clean and away. I'm like, oh my God, that was worth it. I've made cheese boards because Trader Joe's cheese, is pretty inexpensive too. So like that's not a hard thing to make for everybody. And it's like now a staple I make.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Very
Do you feel like decorations are necessary when it comes to parties and events?
Not really. Like I've always gotten the numbers balloon for my kids. I mean, now that Party City's closed, I think I have to find a place. But they, I don't think so. I think like I'm planning my son's birthday party in a few weeks with another friend because they're 2 days apart, and like we're using a park and we're bringing a pinata and we're ordering pizza, and it's very simple. We've done places. We did my business last year because we knew it was going to close at some point, but we did like they painted aprons and made pizza. I think if you're calling around to places, and I noticed this with people calling me, they'd be like, how much is it? And they'd find out the price, and what to me, it wasn't that expensive. Like they're going home with something. You don't have to get them a goodie bag. They're making something. You don't have to pick it up in a week. It's not like pottery. Um, I didn't think $45 per kid was a lot, but it kind of sounds like a lot. But it's kind of like we're doing everything, and you don't have to clean up. You just show up. We make something. We help you through it. So I think you have to think about what you're getting for the price. And some places do supply like the pizza or the cake. Or
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to birthday parties at the beach where you're just like going to a picnic table in the morning, and the mom's getting bagels and donuts and like having a cake, and the kids are on the playground, not even going in the water. Like you I don't think too much into it. There's, I've had my daughter's second birthday and I had like characters at it and a nice little tea-piece picnic table set up. It was so cute. They were like two, and I'm pretty sure, or three, and it was like COVID. They were all wearing masks and we're outside, and like, it's so cute. It's great pictures. Helps promote a lot of companies that way, but it just depends on like what you want to do. I don't think this year we had a sleep under for her 8th birthday, and I had like seven to 10 kids here. We bought them like little robes off Amazon. I gave them eye masks and face masks. I think we went to put a movie on, and they couldn't find the remote, but they were all supposed to like a sleep under is like they're not sleeping over. They're all going home. Some mom
That's
stayed
so
and hung
cute.
out. Yeah, it was cute. It was simple, and they're all out of here. But I think it was like 5 to 8.
Oh my gosh, that is really good idea. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is an amazing event that you've been to lately that you hadn't put on, but somebody put on, and what made it amazing?
Oh my God.
Or
This is
maybe it hasn't even been lately, just like in your life, an event that you've been to that you're like, oh my God, that was so awesome.
I I'm like I like to run, so any 5K or marathon, half marathon. I mean, I've done marathons, but like half marathons, I do love because I feel like it's just like well, these are more like in bigger cities, but like the expo is really great. You can see sneaker companies and different companies and buy swag and that kind of stuff. I do like. I like the exercise
Yeah.
fitness avenue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
cool.
think we have to. I think I saw one in Stanford this weekend, and I was like, oh, I should do something like that. It was like, and it was like the perfect day for it. It was on the water. It was outside.
Yeah. I like block parties. And a favorite event that I just recently went to was a block party, and it there were lots of games and lots of like it was like a cornhole tournament and like a singing contest and like a dance party and
That's
like you
cute.
know what I mean, just like each little individual thing. And so what made it so fun is that everybody was like, I don't know, it wasn't just like milling about. It was like everybody was like doing something very like,
That's
physical.
cute.
It was really fun. It was like, I don't know, that was fun.
Yeah.
And you
We
could
just
not do anything too, but
Yeah, like we don't do much. Like I set up a table for crafts for the kids, and people are just like hanging out, drinking and eating, and like there is cornhole set up, but just like some dads are playing. But I just said to my daughter this morning, because we have our block parties the same day as our cousins Olympics, where it's always in Long Island, and we do like egg on a spoon. And it's so fun. There's always a theme, but it's the same day. And I was like, why don't we? And she's so sad that we're missing it. But like, why don't we do some of those games? Like this
yeah,
is just like kind of it's just the coordinating of like, okay,
yeah.
you guys set up this one, and like timing wise, I think
Well,
it's more
that's the thing.
planning and like asking people to help, kind of, even though everybody wants.
That's the thing is that there's definitely somebody running each
Mhm.
station, and so that could be a little bit difficult, but it is fun. I don't know,
Yeah.
having
I have
that.
another hidden gem. I lived in Black Rock for 3 years, and like my ex lives there now, and I have friends there, and I love it. But their St. Patty's Day parade, it's a Friday before. Black Rock's like a little hidden gem, that gem I think people don't know about. And there's like St. Mary's, you can walk around, and I've met people that live in Fairfield and never been to Harborview Market, which is like the cutest little neighborhood.
Hmm.
Like they probably don't want all us Fairfield people going there, but it's delicious and it's simple. But they have St. Patty's Day parade. It's a Friday. It's kind of annoying because it's Friday before St. Patty's Day, but the parade is a lot of Fairfield people walking through, and then it's just like a fun day in town. And then they just did Porch Fest, which is something that like I only went to first year last year, and it's just there's bands everywhere, and everybody's just like I don't know, it's just so many people, and you see so many like people are bringing kids, people have golf carts, people have strollers,
That's awesome.
coolers.
Porch Fest.
Yeah, Porch Fest.
Cool. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's always in August. It's really fun, and it's
Cool.
just run by the town, like their area, so it's so cute.
We're heading into apple picking season and pumpkin season and all those fall festival kind of things. Is there anything that you want to promote or tell anybody about?
So for years we would do Jones Farm. We would find a date with like all my college friends and we'd all go. We'd go to like the vineyard first and then go to the farm across the street. There's a hay ride. And I think we've tried to change it up. So we've been to Castle Hill Farm. Last year I went to somewhere, I posted about it, but it was like an hour away and it was really good apple picking. But I met a friend from like Westchester. I'm always trying to like, we'll do something and then go to like lunch somewhere.
Yeah.
But I always want to try to find somewhere different. But like, and then Christmas tree season's coming, so we get a group of people and we all go to Maple Row.
Hmm.
We're doing Jones Farm for years, and then we just switched it to Maple Row. But it's just like so nice. Everybody like tailgates in the morning, like brings donuts and bagels, and then like there's a like I think it's a hay ride, but not really hay, and it just takes you to different spots to go look for your tree.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Yep.
they drag it down. Yeah, it's just like a fun day, and it's kind of like a tradition now. And we know the date we do it.
Yeah. It is a very, very busy day
Mm-hmm.
at Maple Row. What is it, the day after?
The day after Thanksgiving, I
Maybe?
know is really busy, and I
Yes,
think it's actually I want to say it's a little cheaper that day.
it
We
might
always
be.
like we
Yeah.
go the week before, we go the week after, so it's like the Saturday or Sunday when the most people can go.
There are a lot of people there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's cute. People are bringing their dogs, and
I love this area in the fall. I think it is so fun and vibrant and beautiful. Um,
yeah, and then like you could pick anything. Like Silverman's, I think is peaches right now, and that's a cute
mhm,
little hayride. I
yeah,
do a big I just can't believe I forgot to mention this. Like my biggest event, an Easter egg hunt at Silverman's Farm in April. It sells out and it's so cute. It's so stressful because it's hundreds of kids running around, but for like in different time frames. It's not stressful because it like kind of runs itself, but it just is so much fun to like watch these kids and like the little babies run around. And we had like a little bounce house section that was like the kiddie section, and then all local vendors so are like either selling things or networking or giving things away
that sounds
every
awesome.
year. And then the farm is so great that they just let everybody go to the farm for free if they
Hmm.
do Easter egg hunt. So we have a food truck, a DJ, ice cream. So
Cool, very cool. Well,
yeah.
is there anything else that you want to tell moms of Fairfield County about?
I don't know if you're not following Fairfield underscore moms on Instagram. There's also a Facebook, Fairfield CT Moms. And then there's a way to, if you go to fairfieldctmoms.com, it's my website and a thing will pop up for you to subscribe to the newsletter because that goes out every month. Something I need to do today. It goes out by the 10th to the 15th. And it's just like recipes, local moms I feature. Every other week I feature a different mom in the area where she has a business, entrepreneur. Abby's going to be featured. Just pretty much asking the same questions like, where's your favorite place to have coffee? And um, what do you do on the weekends? And what's your business? What's your background? So it's really good for people to know the person behind the business, I think.
Yeah, and if businesses want to sponsor with you, they can.
Yeah, if anybody wants to reach out, you could just DM me or there's a way on the website to email me.
Okay.
But it's just Jess at fairfieldctmoms.com. And yeah, I'll send anybody like the media kit and talk to anybody. I love helping people and like new businesses, giving them ideas, not like because I did it. So I get it. No, nobody has money to start with. I get that. And I just want to help people and I want them to grow and I don't want businesses to close. And
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here
Yeah. Thank
and
you.
talking to me. And this has been really, really fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So fun. Anytime you want to talk about anything.
All right.